Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and as you may already know, well, Ultra League Premier Classic is around, but for all those of you that want some open Ultra League teams, well, I'm gonna do today a sum up of my best teams that I have showcased on this channel through the past week of Open Ultra League. So let's see together the 4 team recommendations that I have for you. We start off with a very strong team in the Open Ultra League. This team was the first one that I used when this Ultra League emerged on this new season, and Giratina up in front is one of the best Pokemon that you can use right now, since with Dragon Breath or Shadow Claw can still apply so much pressure to the opponent. You just have to decide, do you want to have coverage against Dark types or do you want to have coverage against Ghost types? So with Shadow Claw you're gonna use so many matchups towards your advantage, those Ghost types against Trevenant, against Kofagrigus and stuff like that, but with that Dragon Breath you're gonna get coverage against Dark types, meaning that not even an Umbreon or an Obstagoon will bring you to no HP with ease. You are gonna go out there and fight your own fights with Giratina, even against your counters. The closer of the team, Swampert, and I prefer for this version the Shadow Swampert because it is in between two other very bulky options for Ultra League. So with those two Pokemons taking all their shields on their HP, I think that Shadow Swampert is going to be a very good closer, especially with Earthquake, because a lot of Pokemon like Walrein and Jellicent can still exist in the meta, so Earthquake will be a very good move for coverage even against those Pokemon with really nice neutral heavy damage. Safe switch of the team, Cresselia, and I do not like this Pokemon with Crash Knot. I prefer the Future Sight version because as a safe switch you are most likely gonna get encountered with a potential Talonflame or Charizard, because those Pokemon are always pretty much everywhere in the meta, and we're gonna dig on those Pokemon as well in a while. But Cresselia with Future Sight can really have a chance even against its counters, so I really like this Pokemon like this. And if you safe switch your Cresselia, your opponent will never bring a Swampert against you, so they will always assume that you have Crash Knot. Of course you are not gonna have it, and the Cresselia with Future Sight and Moonblast will do most likely the job that you want for your team. Core breaker of the team, Trevenant. This Pokemon can work really well individually against any of these Pokemon in this team, but still has to burn some shields in the process, meaning that you are still gonna have a very nice chunk in beating down this Pokemon with this line of 3. So this team is just absolutely gonna get crazy if you can play it right. Moving on, we have a team from my dear friend the Real Kuna, a teammate from my Greek factions team, and we're gonna see that Drapion is not gonna run at all its shadow form, just gonna go in with a regular run just because he wants to survive a little bit longer than usual. And of course you do not need Aqua Tail at all, just go with Slash Bomb and Crunch because fairy types are gonna be a thing, especially not the Charmer fairy type style, because Tapu Fini and Primarina perhaps with Waterfall might be your main threats here with Drapion up in front. Having that in mind, you can always survive some certain matchups like the Scrafties and stuff like that, but also at the backline you have some really nice options. You're gonna see that Trevenant is gonna end up to be one of the biggest closers, as we're seeing on the entirety of this video, and the safe switch is gonna be Deoxys with Rock Slide over Thunderbolt. You might go Thunderbolt for the water types, but I think that Psycho Boost and Rock Slide are gonna be extremely good for the current meta of Ultra League. So with that in mind, the core breaker can be only one, the Mandibuzz, because with Air Slash it can even threat by farming down the whole HP out of the Trevenant, can have a pretty cool matchup against Deoxys, and I believe that's why you need Rock Slide on the Deoxys, just to get there on the charge attack a little bit faster than Thunderbolt and finish them off. However, Mandibuzz is gonna be extremely bulky, and I think it can take even 3 of those Rock Slides with ease, so keep that in mind when you're playing a Deoxys on your team. As well, you have Drapion up in front, which doesn't have the best matchup against Mandibuzz. It is gonna go pretty neutral, but Mandibuzz is just gonna outbulk pretty much everything in the entire Ultra League, and that is gonna be all for this team. Now let's move forward into the next one. Now battlers, we have a line with Talonflame up on the lead, which is gonna be absolutely amazing if you can use your energy management correctly. So using the Talonflame up on the lead, even against its worst core breaker like the Giratina that we have here, you're just gonna charge up to a point that you have 3 or more incinerates as close as to 100 energy as you can, then bail out to your safe switch, which is gonna be the Cresselia, and as always you do not need Grassland at all on your Cresselia. Just do this strategy, and most of the times you're gonna lead with Talonflame, but you're gonna use it as a closer since it will apply so much pressure with its heavy hitting moves, especially the Brave Bird, to the opponent. And with shields down, I think that you are either gonna sweep with your Talonflame or the Trevenant, and most of the times this team is gonna rely on its charge attacks to finish off the opponent. With that in mind, I think that Trevenant is also gonna add up to be one of the best closers on the entire Open Ultra League meta, and of course Trevenant is gonna apply so much pressure with its Shadow Claws and Shadow Balls, and of course Seed Bomb is gonna be extremely useful not only for baits but also against Swampers that are gonna be kinda of troublemakers for your Talonflame up in front. So I really like the synergy between those picks. Also the backline can not only help the Talonflame against those Swampers but also other water threats, something like a Tapu Fini or a Walrein, which are also gonna be pretty meta relevant Pokemon. Core breaker of the team, as we have already said, is gonna be the Giratina, and this Pokemon can work pretty well defensively against the Talonflame, can work pretty well offensively now against the backline, so that's why it is there. But still you have some heavy hitting moves like the Brave Bird, the Shadow Ball and the Moonblast that can really threat this option as well. So Giratina not that meta relevant against this team, but meta relevant against the Open Ultra League, so you're most gonna find out Giratina on your way most of the times, but still keep in mind that you can have the upper hand if you want to. Time for the final one, trainers, and this is a battle submission from Mr. Tamagocha. I made a video about him, who is an amazing YouTube content creator as well, and he's using Swampert Giratina. We already saw this score in this video, but with a Cobalion as a closer. I was having a little bit of a different rotation with Cresselia as the first team showcase, but here you can see that Cobalion can really work really well with this line as well. You're gonna see that Cobalion most likely is gonna close the matches with Stone Edges against even its counters like the Fire types, or just go with back-to-back Sacred Swords, which are gonna be charged up fairly fast with this double kick. And this line of 3 is also pretty strong, and I really recommend to you. The core breaker of the team is gonna be Tapu Fini, but as you're seeing on this clip, Tapu Fini is not gonna be such a huge threat in total, because you still have some heavy hitting moves to encounter even this Pokemon. So that's all, trainers. Thank you for watching, thank you for staying till the end. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and as always, just be sure to have fun in the Open Ultra League meta. My following videos are gonna be all with Ultra League Premier Classic, because I think that you also want to have so much fun on this not new meta, but a well awaited meta, because it was absent for a while from Go Battle League, and it's gonna be super fun to have the Ultra League Premier Classic around once again. No heavily excelled relying Pokemon, no legendaries and stuff like that, so only pure Ultra League for the time being. So that's all, trainers. Thank you for watching once again, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, everyone.